Before I was taking my first solo trip to New York, I heard all sort of positive and extremely motivating things from my friends and family. The things that our Indian parents always tell us before we start thinking about taking that step of getting out of our comfort zone. So I was bombarded with all sort of things like what if you fall sick? Who is going to take care of you? There are a lot of crimes happening in the US. It is not safe for you. People get scammed all the time, and especially you're traveling alone and you've never traveled abroad before. How are you going to take care of everything? When I sat down and analyzed these things, yes, all of them were valid concerns, no doubt. But today, when I look back at it, I did fall sick on my trip. I almost got scammed and I lost my luggage too, all on the very same trip. But I have zero regrets. In fact, my biggest regret would have been if I did not take this trip. I have over 500 great pictures and videos on my phone of the different places I visited in the past, and trust me, these pictures would have never been clicked if I waited for people to join me on these trips. If I were dependent on my friends or family to plan these and to align my dates with their schedule, these trips would have never happened. These trips happened because I was ready and I convinced myself that if I keep waiting for people to join, I will always be waiting. The biggest learnings of my life have come from seeing people from different cultures, different demographics, and just seeing life from their perspective. Solo travel has taught me to love my own company and to find joy in doing things alone. And trust me, life has changed ever since. I am no longer dependent on external elements or people or things not in my hands to control my state of mind or my thoughts and happiness. Sooner or later, your friends or family are going to cancel on you for some or the other reasons. And if you start waiting for someone to join with you on your ambitions, you will always be waiting. Of course, traveling alone is quite challenging and can get lonely sometimes, but it is any day, I repeat, any day better than not traveling at all. A few trips are best taken alone. For example, the New York trip that I took, I survived on the bare minimum, and if I had taken this trip with my family or friends, this would have not been possible. I stayed in a shared dorm in a hostel, I used public transport all throughout my trip, and I ate simple $5 to $10 meals because for me, this trip was not about leisure or luxury. It was about exploring a new city and still spending only as much as I would spend in my own city. When you travel solo, you can keep your expenses to the minimum and just live in the vibe of a new city. Another thing that I love about traveling solo is the freedom to explore the places I want. I am not bound by any itinerary. I do not have to adjust to the plans of my friends or family, and I can take my sweet time at all the attractions. On my New York trip, I visited Times Square almost daily, and that place is full of chaos and a lot of people hate it. But I loved it, and so I kept going there without being concerned if any of my friends will like it or not. The one biggest advantage of solo traveling is socializing. It's a wonderful experience talking to and meeting people from different countries. I met people from Italy, people from France, people from Spain, and of course local New Yorkers on my trip. The best part about staying in a hostel is that you can meet and interact with people of similar interests. It's very easy to do this in a hostel because you have breakfast together, there are group activities, and there's a lot of young crowd with the same interests as you. For someone like me who's been not an extrovert for a while, solo travel has brought out a side of me I did not know existed. It has made me a lot more courageous. I have learned to take ownership of all my decisions. I've started planning better and started being more responsible for all my actions because at the end of the day, I cannot afford things to go wrong because if anything goes wrong, I have to bear 100% of that loss. From never traveling abroad alone to planning an entire trip by myself, right from getting my visa, booking my tickets, getting my accommodation, and commuting within a new city, even coping up with an illness in a new country, getting my bags misplaced, I have handled all of these problems by myself, and I have come a long way without taking help of any travel agent or a friend. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And you can call it the drive or craziness to see a new country. Solo travel has just got these qualities out of me, and now there is no going back. You can literally put me in any city, anywhere in the world, and I will figure out my way. This is the confidence I have gained. And if any one of you watching this video, I just want to tell you that solo travel is not very difficult. You just need to believe in yourself, research thoroughly, that is very important, and just get going. Everything falls into place. and believe me on that. Finally, I want to say that I will earn my money back, but my youth or health is not coming back. Life is passing away every day, and the biggest regrets come from the things you don't do and not from the ones you did but they did not turn out to be as you had envisioned them to. Travel, especially solo travel, needs effort, energy, and can be really hard on your body. And when I am in my 50s, I will probably not be as fit and as willing to do it. So, the right time for me is now. And when you are traveling with friends or family, it's a different kind of travel. You can't stay in a hostel. More often than not, you'll have to take a cab. You can't trek or climb mountains with them. So, till the time you are young and you have this flair for travel, don't let this time pass. Save money, take your phone out, book the tickets of whichever place you've been wanting to visit, and just have faith in yourself and have faith in the process that everything will fall into place. You've got one life and you gotta live it the way you've always dreamt of. Another big advantage that I have seen in my solo trips is that when you travel solo, sometimes you can, end up being friends with a local from that city, and you can explore the city with a local. And I feel there is no better way to know about a place than from experiencing it with someone who has lived his or her life there. This would not be possible if you're traveling with friends or family, because when you are traveling with them, you are only doing the touristy things and you're not really living the vibe of that city. That's it. I hope you guys found some value out of this, and I hope I have been able to give you good reasons why you should start traveling solo. And if you still have any queries or suggestions, please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And until the next one, this is Mr. Mata signing off.